Welcome to Point and Drink Adventure, a podcast where we talk about the drinks and media we consume. I'm Michelle, and with me as always is Pam. Hello, Pam.
Hello, Michelle. How are you doing?
I'm fabulous. How about yourself?
I'm excellent. I pulled myself away from Baldur's Gate 3 for a little bit.
I don't know how you've done it. Let's tell people. How long have you been playing it? Okay, it was released. We're recording on like a Wednesday. I forget it is, but it was released over this past weekend. And so
Thursday, I think it came out Thursday. And I didn't even play Thursday. All I did on Thursday was make my character because I had other stuff to do. But I think I'm at about 35 hours right now. So I've been playing a little bit.
Just a little.
Yeah.
But it's so good. I mean,
it's so good.
We don't have to wait till the end to talk about it. We'll just do spits and spurts as we go through this journey together. Like, because this is one of those games you have to talk about constantly through the journey.
Exactly. And it's so long. By the time you get to the end, you're like, how did this start? Why am I here?
Who are these? What? Who am I? What am I doing with my life? Who knows? Who knows? But so I've only played a couple hours, and that was co-op. And so we'll get into what I've been playing, but just a lot of pain and suffering is what Michelle's been doing. But we've got a lot going on this month. One of the big things that we've got going on is we're doing a charity stream. Ooh, exciting.
I was going to say the Polymedia Network, of which we're a part, is doing their second annual 24-hour charity stream.
We are supporting the Bit by Bit Foundation, which supports kids who are in the hospital. They bring in like consoles and modern consoles and stuff so the kids can play video games whenever they're in the hospital, to give them something to look forward to and do while you're just sitting there, which is awful. Which, I mean, that is awful, but what they're doing is amazing. So yay, super excited. We're doing a live point and drink adventure pod, just like we did last year. Was our first ever.
Yes, our little pilot episode before the first real episode.
So this year's, we'll do it live again and probably drink wine and just talk for an hour. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, take some questions from the chat. I've been told someone will donate $100 if I try that fucking red wine and Coke.
Really?
Yeah. I will do it for charity.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna have to do it then. That means I have to buy a Coke. Ugh.
I think I have a Coke in my fridge that was delivered from DoorDash when they ran out of iced tea. So I think I have a Coke in my fridge.
Really? It's been there for 2 years.
Yeah, but it's there. It's fine.
It's fine. Okay, so yeah, we might have to do that for charity. But that is happening on August 19th, which is a Saturday. We are going on at 11 p.m. Eastern time. But Pam is also going to be podcasting. She's also going to be doing her own stream for 2 hours during August 19th during the day. What time is yours? 2 p.m.?
2 p.m., yeah. 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Yes, she's going to be playing Hollow Knight.
Yes, I'm going to be trying a Steel Soul run of Hollow Knight, see how far I can get without dying. And yeah, the stream as a whole starts at noon Eastern and goes to noon Eastern on Sunday.
Yeah, so come hang out with all of us and all of our friends, and hang out with Pam. I'll be modding Pam, so you can chat with me in the chat as I ban people, which is gonna be fun.
Yes, I'll be modding a few people. I think I'm modding the live Poly Kill podcast.
That'll be fun.
So,
yeah. So mark your calendars and join and all that jazz.
And bring your money.
Give me money. No, not me money. Give charity money. But what are we drinking, Pam?
We're drinking one of my favorite drinks, cider.
Yay, cider. I was like, I'm going to grab the can, but it's just like a can of cider. I don't know. It's a can.
I also have a can.
Yeah, but we put it into a glass. Your glass is way fancier than mine. I was like, I have a glass? I don't know.
Yeah, I got there were free promotional things from Stella Artois. I've got 4 of them. But yeah, they're very good cider glasses. So.
Yeah, so Pam loves cider. Like every time we go out to eat, if she's not getting a glass of wine, she's always getting a cider. So it's like, why haven't we done cider on the episode? Like,
I don't know.
I have no idea. So I thought, like, ding, 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 because I was, like, struggling to figure out what to do this week. Because, sometimes you go through, like, a little brain fart or whatever. And so cider came to mind. Cider in about Toronto, I feel, or at least Canada and the Ontario region, is I feel like way more popular than it is in the States.
So yeah, we've got a lot of sort of Ontario and Canadian in general cider. What's it called? Like, it's not a brewery? Like, what?
Yeah,
what's
it's not a
cider?
brewery. It's like a cidery. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But yeah, we've got a lot of sort of Ontario-based ones. A lot of the breweries do also make a cider. So yeah, it's pretty popular. Like, some places even have some cider on tap. Like, it's,
Yeah. I went to today because I was like, all right, I'm going to go get my cider today. I'll just go to the store, pick some up while I go do some groceries. They had like zero good selection. I'm not going to get Angry Orchard. Like, I'm just no. Like, I'm too much of a boozy bitch for that. So so then I had to go to the beer distributor, which is what they have in Pennsylvania, because you have to have a different store for freaking everything and alcohol. So I went there, and even then, like, their selection was okay. But
yeah.
And I live next to a couple breweries, and they sometimes do a cider, so I didn't want to rely upon that, like when they open at 5 and walk down and be like, yo, and just not be there, and I would have been pissed. But just, I don't know, like, why isn't cider more popular here? It's so good.
It's so good, yeah. It's funny, because sometimes if you say cider, people won't even think like alcoholic cider. They'll think like apple cider or something. Whereas, so...
No, I want that hard cider with the alcohol. So, do you know anything about cider?
I know that it's something that's been around for a very, very long time.
Very, very long time. Like, ancient Roman times and such. Like, as a reading, they have, like, histories of, like, in England and such, when Roman Empire ventured way far out, but they even have like documentation of them like growing apples specifically like in England and Germania, I don't know how to say it, but German area and such. So it's been around for a really long time. Cider is actually more similar in making to wine than it is really beer, which I think probably why we like it, because because we like wine. But you can take like crab apples. You can take pretty much any apple, mush it down, and then there's a lot of like in the carbohydrates in the apple, there's those carbs those sugars convert into alcohol. So they just add a little bit of yeast, let it ferment for a little bit in barrel and or steel tank, and then just filter it out and let it hang out in barrels some more. And that's pretty much like wine. Just replace apple with grape, and you have almost the same thing. So it's like,
Yeah, and it's also got a little bit of sort of carbonation in it. Like,
different types of carbonation can be used. So there's like really no specific rule that you can follow with cider. Like with winemaking and even sparkling wine, you have a lot of rules you have to follow, because we got to be bureaucratic and make as much paperwork as fucking possible. So with cider, it's more of a free-for-all. There's no real set rules, so it's really on the style of the cider maker, that how they want to portray it. So if they want it still, like mine's a more still one, there's not much carbonation to it.
Right.
Or you get ones with carbonation, you just pump in a little CO2 in there. Or we can get real fancy and even make it in the champagne method, where we're doing secondary fermentation in bottles. So it like the bubbles are being created in bottle, which again can cause explosion and stuff, but whatever. But yeah, just like there's no real way to do it. It's just like a free for all. It's great.
Yeah. So you get all kinds of tastes, all kinds of qualities, like
all kinds of colors. Like mine's really
that's so
dark. Versus yours, I'm like, damn.
Very pale.
Yeah. Mine's from New York, I think this one is. This is Down East, a double blend unfiltered craft cider. So unfiltered, hence why it's so dark. It's definitely more appley, but I love it. Do you like a dry or a sweeter cider?
I like them more on the dry. Sometimes I'll go for like the sort of off dry. I don't think that's what it's called on cider, but but yeah, I don't like something really sweet, but some things like, so I'm drinking No Boats on Sunday, which is one of my favorites, and this is a peach one, so it's a little bit sweeter than it would usually be. But the other one that I drink the most of, Brickworks, is like a really dry cider. So
Yeah, I was reading about that one, and that one's more, I guess, UK style, United Kingdom style, which is ciders are huge in the United Kingdom for good reason. I feel like it really originated from there. But those ciders really tend to be super dry, like raw apple in your face, but also higher in alcohol, because whenever you're like going through fermentation, the more sugars that turn into alcohol, the drier it's going to be, so that kind of style raises up the alcohol if you're not going to add sugars afterwards and such. So, but I like this. This is good. Yeah. I forget. I don't know which percentage of alcohol mine is. It's probably like 5. Who knows?
Mine's 5.
Which is, I don't know, higher than a Bud Light.
Yeah, it is. It's nice. It's like not too high, but it's, not too weak. This one, originally, it comes in these big bottles. Like they're like 750 milliliters, almost a liter. So they're huge.
Wow.
They also started selling them in cans now.
That's good, because I feel like if you open them up, you have to drink them all. Like wine, I have no problem. I'll drink it the next day. I don't care what it is. But beer or anything cidery, it's now or never.
One thing I find weird about cider, I don't know if it's specific to Toronto, but if I order a cider at a bar, I almost always get asked, do you want a glass of ice?
Yeah.
And I don't. Like, why? Why would I want to water it down? Like, it should be cold already. And so, why would I put ice in it?
I have no idea. I've been with you at the restaurant. They give you a glass of ice, and you're like, okay, why? I don't know. Not to be like stereotypical, but maybe it's a lady thing, because a lot of ladies put wine on ice too, and I'm just like, why? I don't want to water down. No. Give it to me hard.
Exactly.
Oh, God, we're so inappropriate.
I know.
But yay, cheers, Pam, to cider.
Cheers.
We're definitely going to have at least 2 drink refills, because this is way lower in alcohol than what we're usually drinking.
I opened this a little before we started, so I'm already almost out.
Yeah. I bought 2 4-packs, so I'm good. Like, we're just going to do lots of breaks.
Oh, wow, okay.
But have somebody been watching some movies again?
Yeah, I've been watching a lot.
Pam.
I didn't even write down the ones that we both watched.
You didn't, because like, Michelle watched it. I'll just go off of hers, because I've got so many other things. I'm like, God damn, woman.
I know.
So you go first. What have you been watching recently?
Okay. Let's see if I can maybe cut this down a little bit. So I listened to an audiobook a few weeks ago. It's something that Berger recommended to me, I don't know, I think probably a year ago. It's called Daisy Jones and the Six. And it was a really good audiobook. It was done with like a different voice for every character.
I love
and
that.
It was kind of like a retrospective, like this band was being interviewed sort of after the fact. And the main voice, Daisy Jones, was Jennifer Beals, who I love, and who has just like the most amazing voice. And the main guy was Billy Crudup. So it was like amazing production. And then I found out after I listened to the book that there was a series on Amazon that they made it into, which I didn't know about. It starred Riley Keough, who's Elvis's granddaughter. And so the Daisy Jones and the Six was this band sort of at the tail end of the 70s. And they sort of got together, quickly rose to fame, and then just like imploded. Apparently the story was quite inspired by Fleetwood Mac.
Sounds
so,
like it.
Yeah.
Only they kind of stayed together and tolerated each other and came out with rumors. So
yeah. So it was really good. So it's just this band trying to make it through, and then Daisy Jones is sort of on her own, trying to do her own thing, and this producer comes along and is like, hey, I think they'd go really well together. But then Daisy and I forget his name, the lead guitarist slash lead singer from the band. They have this like tumultuous relationship where they like really inspire each other to do their best work, but they're kind of in love, but he's married to someone else, and so it's like just this whole thing. But then everyone else in the band is also like, one person is sad they don't get the spotlight, 2 other people start sleeping together. Like it's a
messy.
Yeah, it's messy. It's really good.
I love it. Also why I love Fleetwood Mac. Can you imagine all the sex and drugs, and they're still able to create great music?
Such good music. And the music in this was also really good. Like, it was all original. It sounded very much like Fleetwood Mac, but it was really good music, too. So, yeah.
Love it,
really, really good.
I saw previews for this, and it made me really think of Fleetwood Mac a lot, which I have a couple Fleetwood Mac vinyl over there. I love Fleetwood Mac. Rumors and Tusk. So good, but...
yeah, but I would definitely recommend both the audiobook and the show. It's really good. And it's nice because it's just one season. There we go. Over. Like,
that's it. Oh my God. It's so nice when things end.
Yes.
Love it. Do you want to go again, or wait, how many do you have? I don't know.
I'll probably I don't have that much to say about the first one, so.
Okay. Oh, you're just going to get rid. We're just going to delete that. I'll go then. All right. We'll go on we'll go, since we did Daisy Jones and the Six, we'll go on to another music-themed kind of movie. I recently watched Coal Miner's Daughter about Loretta Lynn. Now, this isn't the first time I've seen it. I saw it probably, 20 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's pretty much like watching it new, because the first time I saw it, I remember bits and parts. I remember Sissy Spacek and Tommy Lee Jones, who are the 2 leads. Sissy Spacek plays Loretta Lynn. I think she won an Oscar for this role.
Okay.
Which is amazing. So I love this movie. It's a movie about Loretta Lynn, the country singer from the 60s-ish. I think she started like in the 60s all the way up until she was hugely popular, and then she passed away, I think, a couple years ago, 2019. But the movie is set from when she's about 16 to when she hits really super fame, so maybe like early 80s-ish or 70s-ish. So it's not like her entire life. It's just like this short, like how she rose to fame and what happened when she got there. It's really... It's nice because it's kind of like a biopic, I guess, but also it feels like a fictional story that it's just a nice movie to go through about this famous woman. Sissy Spacek does all of her own singing in it, and she's fabulous. Oh, wow. Yeah, she's really good. And she does such a great job, because the movie starts when she's 16, and you really believe she's a 16-year-old. But it's still her throughout the whole movie.
For the whole thing.
And it's like you're growing with her. It's still her as she ages. But it's her in like 6 months, filming this. She does such an incredible job with her mannerisms and such, showing like she's a dorky little 16-year-old. And then to a 30-year-old on stage with big hair, like it's really good and nice that they didn't have to use a younger actor to portray her as a teenager to whenever she's older. So I really appreciate that about the movie. And the music's great, obviously, and it was just an overall really lovely movie. I think really one of the best music kind of biopic movies out there.
Yeah. So,
yeah, really highly recommend. Even if you don't like country music, great movie. Because I really don't.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so
that sounds good. I like when they do biopics well, because so many times it just they get lost in themselves, and they don't really represent the focus well, or just the pacing is just like they can't make a cohesive narrative out of it.
Yes, this felt like the narrative was very clear cut. It was very well paced. Like I felt that way about like Bohemian Rhapsody. It just couldn't figure itself out. Like, are we a musical, or because it felt kind of musically at times, but it was just so all over the place. I didn't like Bohemian Rhapsody at all. But like this one was so clear cut, it had a singular vision. The characters are you're very empathetic and very likable, but also like you kind of think like, are you a bad guy? You're like a bad guy at sometimes, but so realistic and grounded, and their conversations are so grounded. So just great, lovely movie.
Awesome.
Else have you been watching?
So I watched 2 movies that kind of are thematically fairly similar. They're about 2 people who are in love with each other, but also in love with doing dangerous things. And the first one is a brand new one from Netflix. It's called The Deepest Breath, about free diving, which is something I'd never heard of before. But free diving is basically no equipment or anything. Well, sometimes like flippers, but you go down as deep as you can into the ocean, just on one breath, get to the end, like pull off a tag, and then come back and try not to lose consciousness when you get back to the surface in 4 minutes. That's basically what free diving is.
And people want to do this?
Yeah, people want to do this. So it was about the main person. Oh God, I'm so bad with names. But she's an Italian diver, I guess, and she just fell in love with the ocean and holding her breath when she was a kid, and so she's wanted to be a free diver and be the best in the world. And then her person she eventually gets together with was a free diver, and then he became part of the safety team, who stays up at the top, and then if someone like loses consciousness down, they sort of dive down and get them, or they give mouth to mouth if someone's unconscious when they come back upstairs. And so they meet and they have this relationship, and the relationship is kind of like meh, it's like not super intense or covered that much. It's just like, okay, they both love this thing, they met, they had a relationship, and then things end poorly while they're doing this dangerous thing. So it was all right. I thought some of the undersea footage was really cool. Actually, the stuff that I liked, because when they dive down to like 100 meters under the ocean. So when you get down that far, it's just pitch black. So you can't even really see anything. But they also had all of the free divers who would just float around in the ocean, go like 10 feet down, just swim around without tanks or anything, with all of the sea life and everything. And that stuff was really, really cool. I didn't totally get the free diving urge. But then the other one that I watched is called Fire of Love, and it's about 2 volcanologists who were together for decades, just going around the world and studying volcanoes. And it has some of the most amazing footage. Like, it's all their own footage, compiled with some animations and things to sort of show things, but it just follows them as they study volcanoes. First, they're into the red volcanoes, which are not particularly dangerous because they're like the really impressive ones that spew like red lava everywhere, but they're sort of predictable. And then they go into studying gray volcanoes, which are the ones like Mount St. Helens, which will just fucking explode. Yeah. So it was really good. Yeah, the footage was just amazing. If you're at all into volcanoes, I would recommend just watching it. It was very cool.
Cool. A little dangerous. When you were talking about The Deepest Breath, all I kept thinking in my head is Guybrush Threepwood. Hold my breath for 10 minutes. I'm like that?
Hold my breath for 10 minutes. Yeah.
I don't know why. But I do love, I don't know why I like volcano stuff.
Volcanoes, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, the movie was really, really well done.
Yeah. Never see me free dive, though. No. I do not want to drown.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's a strange thing. Like, most of the time, they're even on a wire. So they're, like, hooked in. So they can't, like, get lost or anything. But then there are these free dives where you go, like, under an arch, and then you have to, like, unclip yourself and just swim through the pitch black water 100 meters down. It's like, no. Nah.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm real good. Well, cool.
Yeah, so they were both cool documentaries. I definitely recommend Fire of Love more.
Mm.
But, what else have you watched?
Well, we watched together.
We
watched a movie. Yay! We got together a hot Friday night. And I don't know if it was Friday, but whatever. Had some alcohol and watched Bound. Yes, which I had never heard of until you mentioned, like, I'm Bound. I'm like, that sounds cool. Let's watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad we did.
So good.
So Bound is by the how do you say Wachowski?
Wachowski I think so.
Wachowski siblings who did The Matrix. And so this is before The Matrix.
Yeah. Their first movie. And it stars Jennifer Tilly and other woman I can't remember her name. Gina Gershon,
as well as another guy who was also in The Matrix.
Joey Pantaleone.
I
remember these names.
Pantaleone. And so it's pretty much, it's real hot. And it's so hot. But it's pretty much about Gina Gershon. What'd you say her name was? Gina Gershon? Gina Gershon just got out of prison. And she's working some like housework stuff on this apartment. And she happens to run into in the elevator Jennifer Tilly and Joey Pantaleone, who are together. And she gets eyes from Jennifer Tilly. They go into the next apartment. And she just goes, okay. But Jennifer Tilly comes back around because, this is a woman who's got trouble written all over her, but she's hot. Comes back around and, like, brings her coffee. And pretty much Joey Pantaleone
Joey Pants.
Works for the mob. And so how they get entailed into this, like, mob thing while trying to hide their hot relationship. And it's a hot movie.
It's really good. Like, the first, I don't know, third is, like, just really sexy. And then it gets into just, like, this really thrilling, like, thriller.
Thriller, right?
Yeah.
Like, it gets into this, like, heisty mode because they're pretty much trying to steal money from the mob, essentially.
Yeah.
And it just turns into so many great shots, such great fashion, set design, so, like, modern, sleek, 90s hard, minimalistic lines. Oh.
Yes. And you can see some of with the camera work and things, like, you can kind of see how it translates into The Matrix. Like, there's a shot where you can see that the sound is sort of, like, carrying through the phone line, or one time the mob is like beating someone up and like beating this guy's head on the toilet, and like the sound is traveling through the plumbing into the next apartment, and Gina Gershon can hear it, and it's just really well done.
So well done. And I never heard of this movie before. Jennifer Tilly is so fucking hot, and she was like, what'd you say, like 36 or 38?
She's 38, yeah.
38 in that movie. I'm like, god damn, woman. Like, whew. Amazing. Oh, such beautiful makeup and fashion, and I can't believe, and I'm amazed why it's called Bound. Afterwards, I thought about this. I'm like, I get it, because one of the opening shot is Gina. We're gonna call her just fucking Gina at this point. Gina, because I cannot get these last names right. Gina is bound, like she's tied up, like arms behind her back in what kind of looks like a closet, but it's not the focal point of the story at all.
Yeah.
It's just like something that happened. Then we just track back to it like later on. Like, which is kind of nice, because I thought for sure, like after seeing the title, and then I was like, okay, it's Wachowskis or whatever. Wachowskis. That it's going to be all about that. Like, she's tied up the whole movie. Not at all. Not at all. No. It's great. It's hot. It's sexy. It's sleek. Great movie.
It was really good. Like, I thought just the plot was nice and straightforward. There was just so many like twists and turns, and oh no, what's gonna happen, and they're in danger, and is this person gonna die? Just really good all around.
So good. And great dialogue. I'm gonna keep going back to Jennifer Tilly, but Jennifer Tilly plays it so well, because the whole time, like, you think like, ooh, she's playing them, or ooh, it's like the way she like acts too. She's like, like that kind of like solemn, like everyone thinks she's just a dumb girl, but she's not, you know, like
yeah, she got like a Marilyn Monroe breathy thing going on, and
so good. Oh, whew. Oh, watch that movie.
Yeah, it was good. I've had that on my to watch list for so long, so I'm glad that we finally watched it.
I'm so glad you suggested it, because that was amazing. But yeah, what else have you been watching?
So I watched a movie called Pontypool, which is a very low budget, I would say, Canadian horror movie. It's a zombie flick, but it's sort of like not quite a single room thriller, but it's about this radio station disc jockey, and he's sort of, you know, causing trouble. He's like, I wouldn't call him like a Howard Stern, but he's, you know, just kind of pushes the envelope a little bit, like talks about some conspiracy theories and stuff like that. So it's him, his producer, and like the technical person on the show, and they start getting reports of these sort of like riots where people are behaving oddly and people are getting trampled and people start eating each other. And it's all just takes place in the radio station, so you don't see what's going on out there. But what makes it different is that this virus, you find out, is caused by words. So it's not like you get bitten and you turn into a zombie. It's like there's words or ideas or like understanding of things that sort of makes people kind of lose their mind and turn into zombies.
So, like, I'd be like talking about daffodils or something, and that would turn me into a zombie if that was like the trigger word.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be automatic, but if you sort of understood that, then the people start just like talking nonsense. Like they'll start like repeating words over and over, and that's kind of how you can tell that they're turning. So it was a really interesting concept. I felt like by the end, I don't know that they really pulled off the explanation completely, but I really liked how they did it, and the few scenes that we saw that were actually kind of like violent and had the zombies in them were pretty good. So yeah, it was an interesting movie. Again, talking about a lot of Ontario locations. I know.
Yay!
Yeah.
I love that. I love it when you can clearly tell. You're like, that's Toronto. And then you were like, oh, I know that neighborhood. Oh, I know another. I love that when I lived in DC. I could, whenever they're like show shots of like DC political movies or any Marvel movie. Like, that don't make sense, the travel they went. But yay, Pontypool, huh? Low budget Toronto movie fun.
Yes. What else have you watched?
So this is a new movie that just came out a couple weeks ago, honestly. It's called They Cloned Tyrone. Have you heard of this?
I actually watched it.
I love it. Yay! I watched
when I saw it on the sheet, I was like, I'll watch that.
I watched it with my dad.
Oh, nice.
He was like, have you heard of this movie? Because my dad loves Jamie Foxx. And I was like, no. And he was like, well, you want to watch it? I'm like, okay. So They Clone Tyrone is about this young African-American man who's a drug dealer in nondescript, very like not best part of the neighborhood. Like, we're gonna call it equivalent to Watts or like South Central LA kind of deal. Compton, Watts and Compton. For us Americans, but so he's this young drug dealer, and he's trying to get like drug money from Jamie Foxx, who's a pimp, which is fabulous because Jamie Foxx plays pretty much him, not himself, but I love how he's just a charismatic dude. And so him and a young drug dealer with Jamie Foxx, young drug dealer, gets killed. But then the next day he like wakes up and there's like, wait, what happened? So come to find out that, and this is all in like the trailer, so it's not like this is like spoiler, but he's a clone. So they're trying to figure out why, where,
what's happening? Yeah.
what is happening,
how
yeah. that this man in the ghetto is a clone in, South Central LA. It's not LA, but,
yeah.
It's like nondescript where it's at. So that's pretty much it. So it's like them two, and then like one of Jamie Foxx's ladies, one of the whores, is off with them on this little adventure. And I had fun, but what do you think, Pam? I have ups and downs with it, but overall it's fun.
I thought it was good. I thought especially once they got into like the secret labs and sort of like as it started unraveling, I really liked it. I thought it started a little bit slow, but I really liked the performances by all three of the leads. Tyrone is John Boyega, who's
Star Wars
good. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Same. I thought it was a lot of fun. I actually liked the beginning more. I thought it kind of meandered a little bit towards the end in terms of like how is this going to be resolved? Like I thought it just went a bit too long in terms of what they're trying to portray, but really surprising ending, I thought, like in terms of why, the whole why of they're doing it, I thought was wild.
Yeah.
Which I won't spoil there. But the beginning I really liked because it was like a mystery and the way tonally it was going, like a little bit of comedy, but also really mystery sci-fi because that they're searching for these clones, and just the whole Nancy Drew of it, which is actually incorporated into the movie. But yeah, like once we get towards the end and it starts like getting more, it gets bigger and bigger, is when I thought it lost me a little bit in terms of its direction, but still overall just a ton of fun. Jamie Foxx like hams up the screen every time he's on camera, so it's great time. I was surprised. I didn't think I would finish it when we first started. Like I was like, my dad goes, "Let's see how long this one lasts." And I was like, "Oh, we watched the whole thing."
Good. Yeah.
I liked it though. It was fun.
Fun. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Tell me about what else you've been watching. I'm excited to hear about this because I need to watch this, but I just haven't.
Watch this. So I watched season 2 of The Bear. And The Bear is a show about a guy, Jeremy Allen White, who was like a chef in like New York in like a Michelin star restaurant, and then this is the first season, his brother, who owns the Chicago Beef, like one of those like kind of fast foody like sandwich shop in Chicago, he kills himself, and so he goes back home to sort of take care of everything, take over the restaurant, and it's just about both his tumultuous relationship with his family and all of the people who are working there, along with his idea to sort of elevate this place and use his culinary knowledge to turn things around. So in the second season, they're completely revamping this restaurant and trying to make it into like an upscale dining place. So it goes over the renovation and coming up with the new menu and training the staff, like getting them sending some of them to culinary school. He has a relationship, which didn't happen in the first season, and just the sort of thing hanging over everyone's head where like restaurants are just closing left, right, and center, and they're just like, we're just gonna make a new one. So it's really good. Most episodes focus on a different person, which is really cool. So each of them gets a bit of a spotlight in terms of that. It also goes way more into his family dynamic, which is just incredibly stressful. The cast is ridiculous. Like, so many people are in this. His mom is Jamie Lee Curtis.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's so many people that come in the second season. Richie's wife is Jillian Jacobs from Community. Like, there's just all kinds of people show up in the second season, and it was really good. I know you've seen the first season. They just film food so well. Like, the cooking process, the food, it's just like, ugh.
They really do. Oh, yeah. I watched the first season in a day when I watched it. And what I really liked about it, too, is I worked in restaurants a billion years ago, but there were so many things that, like, the whole yes chef culture. And I've had, like, friends and ask me, like, is it really like that? I'm like, yeah. I remember once I was working at a very, very upscale restaurant, and they said to the staff, they said to us waiters, and I was a bartender there, said to us, like, if the chef tells you the sky is green, what do you say? Yes, chef.
Yeah.
Yes. It doesn't matter if it's pink or blue or whatever it is. Like, it doesn't. If he says it, that's the way it is. That is the way it is, and that is it. Because that no show really honed in on that. This show hones in on that. The drinking the water out of the plastic containers, like
deli, yeah.
It got real fast.
Yeah, I mean, I've never worked in that kind of environment, but like the back of house stuff all seems pretty realistic. One of the best episodes this season, they send Richie to stage at like a really high-end restaurant, and he's just like learning how they do things, and all the wait staff is like communicating via notes to know everything that's going on every table. Like, someone will overhear someone say something like, oh, I'm sad we didn't get deep dish, and like they take that message back to the chef, and he like makes them a deep dish course for their thing. And just like how much people will like bend over backwards to like make this a great experience for people who are coming to the restaurant. It was really cool.
So real. Oh man. Yeah, I'll probably stick a Saturday in here where I'll just binge watch the whole thing, because that it's so easy too, because it was 8 episodes, maybe they're all a half hour. It's
yeah, just go right through it.
Great, though. I loved the first season, so I'm very surprised I haven't watched the second one yet. But you know what? We'll get there.
You'll get there. So what TV have you been watching?
Oh my God. We're finally at the end of this journey. No, we're not the end of the whole Star Trek journey. Let's be real. But I have finished. Still more? Nope, there's always more Star Trek. I swear to God. So I have finished watching Deep Space Nine, all 7 seasons, 26 episodes a season.
Wow.
Yeah. No wonder why I have no time to watch any other shows, because I've been watching frickin' DS9. This was amazing. Honestly, I like it better than The Next Generation. Sexy Picard is still super sexy Picard, but Sisko is my captain. Like, he is...
He's pretty sexy, too.
He's a sexy bald man. Like, oh my God. Every character I absolutely loved. This, start to finish, was just absolutely amazing. The first 3 seasons, maybe a little bit weaker than the 4 on. The 4th one's when we get Worf, which is like, just elevates it to a whole new level. Worf was also in The Next Generation. He's the Klingon. And it was just one of the most amazing shows I've ever seen. The last season, there's like the 10-episode finale where it just like, instead like usual Star Trek, where like each episode is like its own little nugget, this one actually implements a more arc. So there's like the war with the Dominion, where it lasts like almost like 4 seasons, but like gets really closure and really finalizes the last 10. So it's like the last 10 are almost like one big long movie, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
So it was fantastic. I will only pick top 5 episodes, and I'll read through them quickly because this was real hard. So I'm going off gut reactions. It's going to change tomorrow, I swear to God. The Visitor in season 3, Little Green Men in season 3, Trials and Tribulations in season 5, which is so cute because they like do footage. Tribbles. Okay. Tribbles. It's so cute. In Pale Moonlight season 6, and Take Me to the Hollow Suite in season 7, which I even got a shirt because of this freaking shirt from that episode. So, which I should have worn. I don't know why I'm not wearing it. Anyhow, but mistakes have been made. But yeah, love Deep Space Nine. If you are a Trek fan at all or like sci-fi, just watch it, and it's amazing. So that's all I have to say.
Awesome.
On to the next Trek thing. Huna.
On to the next. What's that next on the Trek docket?
So I'm not going to start Voyager right away because I need a break from all these long ones. So I'm going to actually go into season 3 Picard. I'm just going to bypass season 1 and 2 because I heard they're absolutely terrible. So I'm going to go to season 3 Picard because that's when they bring in Star Trek The Next Generation cast when they're older in. I'm like, well, nostalgia, hello. So yeah. That's probably what's
nostalgia
next.
From earlier this year.
I know. The worst. I am watching the movies, though, which I don't really talk about because they're just the movies. They're fine. But I don't really have anything to say about them. So, but yeah, I am going through the movies as well. But yeah.
Awesome. Drink break?
Drink break. All right. Video games. Video games. What have you been playing, Pam?
So, I finished a few things before I've been lost forever to Baldur's Gate 3. I finished Hi-Fi Rush, which is something that sort of came out by surprise closer to the beginning of the year. Tango Gameworks, who previously made Evil Within 1 and 2.
Oh, really?
Which are horror games. Yeah, they came out, and I think on some kind of game
announcement
event,
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, here's this game. It's available right now. And it's the brightest, cartooniest, most musical game. It's like, oh, well, this is definitely a different direction. But it's basically a rhythm game where you play this guy and he has his arm replaced with a robot arm. There's basically this evil corporation and they want workers and I don't know. The story's, your general evil corporation taking it down. And then so he's decided with someone else that they're gonna sort of crack down on this corporation, but it's all rhythm based, like everything. There's just a beat constantly going. Like he's snapping his fingers and like lights are flashing and you can like have the beat going at the bottom of the screen and you do combat. It's all sort of like combo combat, but you want to do it on the beat to get things done. And it's really fun. I'm not very good at those kind of rhythm games, but they had a slew of difficulty and accessibility options that made it so that I could play it. But the music's so much fun. It's just so bright. The animations are beautiful. All the characters are really lovable, and as you go further, you get more characters, and you can like call them into combat with you. And in between missions, you go to your little hub, and you can talk to everyone and pet a cat. And it was just really good. Like when I got back to it, it took me a little bit to remember how to play, but they've got all the tutorials and everything for you. And I kind of whipped through the second half of it once I got back to it. Most of it is original music, but they also have some licensed stuff, like the 9 Inch Nails' The Perfect Drug, sort of like as one of the last boss fight music, which I really liked. And
that's
amazing! It was just a lot of fun. Yeah.
I love 9 Inch Nails. I've been listening to a lot of Fragile. I don't know why. I love it.
Nice. Yeah. It was super fun.
That's great. I remember when they announced it. And it was like on Game Pass now. So I was like, okay. Yeah. So I downloaded it and played it for a little bit and kind of dropped off. I think we both did the same thing, dropped off. But then you came back to it. But yeah, so fun and colorful and just interesting. I'm bad at those games too. So I'm just like, that's probably why I dropped off initially. Because I'm like rhythmy things like, meh, I'm good. But,
yeah. Yeah, but it was a lot of fun.
Cool. Fun.
What have you played?
All of mine are dark and
series.
All mine are just dark and depressing. Let's be real. We'll go with the first one, Demon Souls Remastered. So co-oping. All right, kids. Michelle's not a true get good player here.
It's fine.
Co-op
in the game. You can co-op anything you want.
I ask for help sometimes, and it's okay. So played through Demon Souls, the remaster, not the original. Which was, I really liked this one. the other game I'll talk about, Dark Souls, versus that. But Demon Souls is, I mean, it's a From Software game, so let's be real, there's no story.
The story is all buried in like item descriptions. And
yes, and item descriptions and lore that you can just watch YouTube videos on for days about. And you're pretty much this hollowed. I'm confusing games now in terms of what's hollowed and what's not, but you can become undead and alive, human, which is a different concept to me because I just played Bloodborne before when we were just one thing. So you have... In Demon Souls, you have different tablets you can go to different worlds. And you can go in any order you want. So it's like kind of free-for-all in that sense. So you're like at the Nexus, that's what it's called, and you got your hot girlfriend who levels you up. Which
There's always a hot girlfriend who levels you up.
I know. She is the hot one. Like
is she the hot one? I haven't played this one, so.
She's the one, the bandage one and the bandage eyes. I'm gonna cut it.
Oh yeah, I remember the vinyl cover. It's like the best vinyl cover.
Yes, this one. It's this chick. She's best. She's best girl. She is hot.
Okay.
Lord knows what her name is, but yeah. So you're at the Nexus. You can go to different. There's like 4 or 5, I think 5 different levels, each one of different themes and such, and it's really fun. Different, play styles and such with different bosses. And I had a great time with it because I really like the ability to just cherry pick. Like you can go through the first level of all of them. Then you can go through the first level through the all of them again. So you don't have to like go through this one, then through all of this one. Like you can just like boop, boop, jump around and be like, I'm sick of this place. I'm going back to this place kind of thing. So I really like that. I wish... I think it's like Dark Souls 2, where if you're not human, excuse me, your health is like reduced. So you're reduced.
You die, your health gets reduced every time until like you're at 50%.
Yeah, so you're reduced 95% of the time. Because why am I going to go as a human into this place when I'm exploring and I know I'm going to die? Like, just let me be Half-Life and it's fine. But... overall, the bosses were really fun. Co-op was amazing. Very easy. So, yeah, I really like Demon Souls. You should play Demon Souls, the remastered one. Don't play the original because the original, you really got to inventory manage. Like, you can't send things to storage, where here you can send things to storage just from, like, you being a person. So, yay for that. What this game could use, though, is more fun outfits. That's what it's about.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll get a PlayStation.
Oh God, I always forget that you stupid Demon Souls. It's all right. You just come back here, Pam, and we'll play it over a weekend. It'll be fine. It's a long one to play over a weekend.
What kind of character did you play? Like what weapon and stat?
Usually I play a Dexy ninja-y thing. That's what I played in Elden Ring. And that's what I really focused on in Bloodborne. I played like a high dex kind of character. I went for mage in this one, which is totally different than what I usually do. And it was fun.
Yeah.
I really liked playing a mage. So I think I'm going to play mage for Dark Souls 2. Just because I want to go back to it. Because it was really fun. I liked it a lot. What do you usually play, like when you play those games?
I kind of switched it up. Like the first time I played Dark Souls 3, I started like sword and board and then like a fast two-handed weapon. But yeah, more dex. Like Elden Ring, I did dex int. So I was casting spells and rolling around and
I love rolling. Gotta roll.
I forget what I did for Dark Souls 2 or 1. I think just swords. Things. With like a little tiny bit of magic.
Yeah. Magic, no. This is like, well, for the other game I did no magic. But yeah, I really liked doing magic for Demon Souls. I wish there were more spells, because there's not a really... That's what this game really need more of. More spells, more outfits, more things like that. Because I have no idea what's going on. I'm sure whatever. But I just need more things to grab. I want more cute hats. Give me cute crop tops, that kind of thing. But yeah, what else have you been playing?
So I just finished playing a new adventure game on stream called Paradigm. I think it's, I don't know, maybe 5-ish years old. It's an indie game. It's set in a sort of post-apocalyptic Eastern European country. There's a lot of Cyrillic, but there's also a lot of Polish in it. But you're like this weird mutant creature. The game starts very hilariously, sort of with this ad for rich people, and you're like, are your real children disappointments? Try this, I forget what they're called, but try this new child. We'll like develop them for you. They'll learn science instead of going to school for arts. Like they're like so it starts out like that, and then you start playing this character Paradigm, and you're working in a nuclear plant, and you're trying to keep it from melting down. But then you find out that there's this sloth who vomits candy who is after you and wants to kill you for some reason. And it's just a very silly, sort of meta-humorous, fourth wall breaking game, which I found pretty hilarious most of the time.
How were the puzzles?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
For the most part, they made sense. Like, I didn't need too much help. There was a hint system, and I used it once, and it didn't help me at all. I don't know if I just had to, like, keep trying, but it gave me a hint, and it was like, this isn't a helpful hint.
Worthless.
But, yeah, the puzzles were pretty good. Some of them were a bit challenging, but overall they, sort of made sense in the context, the very silly context of the game.
Yeah, we watched you do this some on stream, and I was very impressed with the voice acting and the humor of it. Like, the voice acting was real top-notch.
Yeah.
The cute.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
The metal puppy, that little puppy with the fabulous hair, was that, like...
Yeah.
He's so cute.
Oh, yeah, that was the best thing. The Church of Glam Rock, that was awesome. And, yeah, this what was he? He was like a rock star who used up his body with drugs and STDs and got eternal life, but in the body of a pug.
So cute.
So cute.
So cute.
And I really liked at the end of the game, I don't know if you saw that, but it like brings up all these videotapes, and like there's like the real ending, but then there's like the It Was All a Dream ending, the Glam Rock ending. Like there was all these sort of alternate endings, and they all had a different animation style. One was even like a live action one. It was really cool.
That's fun. So it's kind of like Clue with different endings.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, but here's what really happened.
Love that. Oh, fun. And it's only I didn't realize it was only a couple years old, because I thought for sure, like, oh, this is like from the 90s that like been like remastered or something or whatever.
I think it was like 2016, 2017, somewhere around then. Yeah, I had never heard of it before, and then someone, actually a couple people recommended it to me on my one of my adventure game rankings, so we'll check it out.
That was a fun one. That was a good one. Good job. Good suggestion, person who commented.
And what else have you been playing?
So I'll go into the other From Software game that I played. Dark Souls. Finished that last night. Yay!
Nice.
So the difference really between Demon Souls and Dark Souls, at least for me, because who knows what the fuck is going on, is Dark Souls, you can't travel between freaking save points. You just...
It takes so long for fast travel.
So long for fast travel to show up. And then when it finally shows up, you only can fast travel to certain bonfires. So everything is connected, which is great level design.
It's cool.
It's really cool. But oh my god, I don't want to walk through that part again to go get to the thing, to go to the blacksmith, and I'm just like, ugh. Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, Dark Souls, which is after Demon Souls in terms of releases and stuff. I think it goes like Kingsfield, Demon Souls, then the Dark Souls trilogy, Sekiro, then whatever's after that. But or then Bloodborne. Then whatever, who cares? So Dark Souls is again, kind of the same thing. No idea what's going on. You picked your character. This time I picked a pyromancer because pyromancer is supposed to be uber powerful, and I do not like being weak. And because when I say I suck at these games, I really mean it. I'm not good, but I'm great in co-op. But pyromancer was fun because you don't manage it like an MP meter like you do in the other games. Everything is like you have 8 fireballs and you have 8 of these like combustion ones. That's how many you get until you sit your butt down at a bonfire. So
you rest again, yeah.
Have fun, kids, until you find a bonfire. Yeah. So that's fun managing it that way, so you don't have to like find MP items or that kind of thing. So it'll always come back. And there was more spells selection, and it was really fun once you really level up that pyromancy, just walking up to the boss and going poof like 5 times and watch that HP go whee all the way down. We're like, yeah, I'm just going poof out your butt. That was fun. But really cool boss battles, couple of them real annoying. You really, I to be honest, like Demon Souls I enjoyed throughout the entire thing. I didn't even do the DLC for Dark Souls because I just felt like towards the end, you really start to feel like the rush of it, and I just didn't like the levels anymore, and I'm like, can I be done now? They're all going. I'm like,
I forget what it's called. The place where it's pitch black and there are giant skeletons, I hated that so much. I was like, this is the worst thing ever. I even found this stupid hat with the flashlight on it, and it was still awful. I hated it.
Yeah. I had the skull, so you can either have the hat or the skull. And the skull you just hold out. So you literally have to just hold L1 while you're walking around. So a lot of times if you're fighting, you remove that, and then you have to fight. Or then switch over. I switch over to my pyromancy, which is like, I fuck up every time. I'm just like, I switch over. Like, I'm not great. And yeah, that place... No.
I feel like there was a few places in the last half that I didn't like, but that's the one that really stands out.
Yeah, that one. I liked the like Duke's Archives, and when you go into the Crystal place.
I really like the Duke's Archives. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Although the Crystal place, the like invisible platforms got kind of annoying.
Thank God, again, I'm going up with people who knew where to go.
Who know
because
what they're doing,
never would have guessed. They're like, if you just look at the snow. I'm like, but it's not creating, the snow is like this, dropping down. And I know I have to walk here, but what if I'm like, ooh, look at that over there, and I'm just wandering around? Like, there's nothing, like, the snow still looks like it's hitting, sort of. So it's not like, it's very clear, which is typical Souls, but just annoying. So I got tired by the end of it. So I was just like, I want to end this. Let's end this. Yeah. And I'm good. No extra I mean, some optional bosses, obviously, I had to do. But yeah, I was just like, no DLC for me. Let's go to Dark Souls 2 now.
Yeah.
But yeah. Overall, better outfits, though. I got a real cute crop top. Cute crop top with my cute pants. I was hot.
I don't do the fashion Souls thing at all. Every time I get gear, I'm like, this is ugly. I don't care.
Well, 95% of the time they are ugly. I pick up anything. And all the boys I'm playing with are playing like Sword and Board. And they're like, ooh, that's a good outfit. I'm like, it weighs 500 pounds. I'm never going to wear that. Like, I don't do those builds. I hate parrying and shielding anything. I just want to roll for days. So rolling, I need crop tops and hot pants in order to do so, which is few and far between. So give me more cute, hot outfits, game. Jesus. Stop with the big, heavy armor.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else have you been playing?
So, actually, I did finish something after Baldur's Gate came out. It was called Venba. It's a brand new one, just came out on Game Pass. It's just like a little indie game from Canada about a couple from India, and they immigrate to Canada and sort of their experience doing that. The mechanics of the game are all sort of cooking based, so it's very narrative. It's a lot of just like dialogue, like the occasional picking a dialogue option, and then the main character Venba, she's cooking using her mom's old recipe book, but there are like missing steps and things, so you have to figure out how to cook these dishes. And that was pretty cool, although it made me feel really bad at cooking because I failed everything so many times. I just wasn't good.
No, you're a good cook. I promise, you're a good cook. Pam's good cook.
I don't know. In this video game, I just did everything out of order. So it's very much just about sort of like the struggles they have living in Canada, like trying to get jobs when their experience in India doesn't count for anything for people hiring here. They have a kid who's like a shitty kid who's like, I don't want to take my embarrassing Indian food to school. I want pizza. And then just like never talks to his mom, which is sad. It was cool. Like, it looked really, I liked the style of it. Some of the cooking, like once I got the hang of it more, I was like, this is delicious. This is delicious. I would like to make this. But it was very, very brief. Like, I think an hour and a half, which I don't complain about games being too short, but I didn't really feel like I had enough time to sort of buy into the characters. I could have gone on a little longer just so got to know them a little more. It very much went from like she finds out she's pregnant, the kid's 5, the kid's a teenager, the kid goes off to school. Like, it's very like just like whoosh through the life. But it was cool. Like, I liked what it was sort of trying to do, but I felt like it could have could give me a little more meat to chew on.
That's so surprising because so many games outstay their welcome. And then this one, it's like, God, I could have used more character development. Come on.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, but it was cute. And definitely, if you've got Game Pass, and like sort of those kind of like cooking kind of
I love
narrative
cooking.
games, and definitely, give it a shot. But just could have been fleshed out a little more.
Such a sucker for cooking in games. Oh my God. Not even just every game, just add it. Michelle, play it. Add it.
Yeah. So what is the last thing that you played?
Last thing I played on my still journeys of these games, Resident Evil 8. Yay! Finished that on stream. I don't know, last week.
That game.
So good! Oh my God, I had such a great time with that game. I loved the first person aspect of it. I loved the leveling up of guns and item pickups and the merchant. Like, adding a merchant just elevates it so much. I love it. So I played Resident Evil 8, which is not, is it Village? Village, yes. Village. So we come back to Ethan trying to figure out his life and his married life, and his daughter gets kidnapped and you have to go save your daughter. That's pretty much the story. That's literally it. To go save your story from the big evil woman who thinks she's God.
Yeah.
Which I do like better. So previously, I think the structure between 7 and 8 are very similar, where you have like 4 different character areas and bosses that you go through. So like 7, there's the dad, the mom, the brother, and then like the last part that you go through. Whereas here you go through Lady Dimitrescu, the doll thing, the evil, gross, swampy thing, and then Heisenberg, and then the final part. Yeah. So I think there's like an extra person in 8 versus 7, but that same sort of concept where you go through each individual person in each individual level where they have uniqueness between them. This one obviously is elevated to the umpteenth degree, which is amazing. The Lady Dimitrescu one could have just been a whole game, because I want my hot girlfriends all the time.
Yeah.
But I've never been so scared in a video game in my life than in one of the parts. And I won't spoil anything. But oh my god. And I knew it was coming, because I knew like everyone's like, "Oh, this is really scary. This is bad." And when it starts, you're not really ready. You're not really ready. I opened all the hiding places too, because I was like, I don't want to have to open a door. Everything's open and ready for me to go, and I still I was sweating like crazy.
That is so scary. When I played that level, I was so scared. I muted my sound because I was like, the sound is what's making it scary. I'm not listening to it. So then when I watched your stream, that was the first time I actually heard the sound. And I was like, ugh, no, I don't like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it. It's so well done and horrifying and so great. Scariest I've ever been in a game in a very, very long time. So props to you, Resident Evil. You did it.
Yeah.
And fun.
I love Resident Evil 8. Like, I haven't played that many Resident Evil games. I played 4. I played 1. Like, I haven't played any of the remakes or anything yet. But I loved the 4 sections. How it was, like, kind of typical survival horror. And then a sort of puzzly section. And then, like, the really scary survival horror. And then more of an action-y section. Like, I love how it just kept changing things up. So.
I agree. It does a much better job in that one than it did in 7. 7, it just felt like there was different levels. They all felt kind of like there's puzzly and actiony sequences with it. But this one, there was more diversity, I think, and more interesting puzzles to them, like the inclusion of the stupid marble thing, and like stupid little fun quirks like that of just like extra stuff. And so I and the merchant, just give me a merchant so I can upgrade. I want to upgrade my own guns. Yes, I want to pick what I upgrade, and like that gives me incentive to kill things. Well, not that I just don't want to kill them anyways because I'm terrified out of my mind, but just like I loved it. Absolutely loved it. One of my favorite Resident Evils. All I have left now is 1 and 3 to play, which I'll get to eventually. So, whatever.
Yeah. Did they? I think there's like a 1 remaster, but it's not like they haven't remade one, have they?
No, it's just a remaster. No. I think that from the GameCube. They remastered it on GameCube, or is that the second one? Oh my god, I'm mixing them up.
Second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did.
I think 1 is pretty much the same as when it was on PlayStation.
I think they might have updated it so it wasn't tank control, although I could be wrong.
Oh. Okay.
I could be confusing it because let's be real. They all blend together at some point, so prove me wrong. But yeah, I'll play that. I'm bad with tankiness, and the whole "you shouldn't kill everything" idea just doesn't get into my skull.
Just run past them.
I can't. It's even hard for me in like fucking Dark Souls. Like, I have to kill you to get past you. No, Michelle, just run past it.
Just run past it. Yeah.
I can't. Why won't
you? Get to the bonfire.
This is why I'm bad at these games. But yeah, Resident Evil 8, great. Highly recommend. So,
awesome.
We did it.
We did it.
I have no pickups.
I have no pickups.
I have a lot coming though. So our next episode, oh my god.
Yeah. I wonder, what is it? Are we going to record again before?
Probably not.
Retro World? Probably not.
Oh, no, we're going to do charity stream, so that's technically.
Yeah, we're going to do charity stream.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, charity stream I'll probably show off all the crap that's coming my way. Because, oh my god, there's so much crap. But but that's fine. We're also going to Retro World, I guess. If you see us, come say hi, whatever. Don't stalk us though, because I'm Pam's bodyguard. So.
I love a cavalcade of bodyguards.
Which is Michelle. It's me and Dylan are your bodyguard. Which Dylan I feel like can't hurt anything, so it's just me.
He'll call you over.
Petey, oh my god, somebody help me. Like, okay, Dylan, can't handle it yourself. I can't wait till he hears this. But thank you for listening, everyone. If you want to talk to us, you can email us your questions, comments, or concerns to pointandrinkadventure@gmail.com, or leave us a comment on our YouTube videos. Yeah. There's the best place, though. YouTube videos are the best place.
Yeah, that's the best place.
We also have a subreddit, r/polymedia, which Michelle has learned how to use, how to post.
Yay!
Yay! I don't use Reddit at all. I'm the worst. I I'm fine. You know, I'm going through my boomer life. But yeah.
And if you like what you heard here and want to check out some more fun podcasts, check out polymedianetwork.com. We've got podcasts about more video games, indie video games, movies, Goosebumps books,
Things.
I think that's it.
I
Video
swear
game stories. Yeah.
I feel like we always miss one, and we're just like, it's just more video games, isn't it?
It's just more video games, yeah.
But yeah. And check out the charity stream on August 19th. I'm going to Retro World this weekend, so I'm going to try to get this out right before the charity stream. So check us out. Drink all, my friends.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.